afternoon, art lovers, and welcome to my first online workshop of how to paint a cow. In this workshop, we're going to make the transition from acrylic paints to oil paints at the end. And our first lesson is going to be very basic, going right back to just mixing basic primary colors in case there's any of you who have never painted before. I want you all to feel welcome, and I want you to fully understand the process. Don't be afraid of doing anything ugly. There's no such thing. It's all about experimenting and finding your voice. Enjoy.
For this little class, you'll just need 3 colors: blue, red, yellow. No particular colors at all. It doesn't matter. These were just the 3 I had. A couple of brushes and a piece of paper or old canvas. You can use a palette knife, something like an old tin lid or anything to mix your colors on.
So just as a little warm-up exercise to get your eye in and just to understand the basics of primary colors, I've just chosen 3 primary colors out of my box of acrylic paints, and you can see I've done a little bit of mixing here, and we're just going to have a practice, have an experiment with mixing these colors. So we'll start off with the lighter ones. So I've got cadmium yellow and scarlet lake. Now I normally work with oils, so I just have these, and really I'm not looking at them as any particular colors that I like. I just have them. So we're going to start with a bit of yellow and a tiny bit of red, and of course, as you all know, this will make orange. Now I find this is a good little exercise because later we're going to cut these up and keep them as swatches. So I'm just going to start a new section here, and we're going to start with your orange, the orange that we've made with those 2 colors. Now, obviously, if we add more yellow, you're going to get a lighter orange. In fact, we could probably add a little bit more. It's not a very strong pigment of yellow I have here. And then, let's see, I've got a slightly different shade, a little bit lighter of yellow. And then if you want, just to complete the picture, we can go yellow there. And just so we know what we used initially, let's put the red there, so we know what colors we've used. I'm just going to wipe that off, and now we're going to mix the red and the blue, and obviously we will get various shades of purple. This tiny little bit of blue, blue's quite strong, and then we've got kind of a rich ruby maroony color. Put that there so we can see how we're moving through the colors with this very simple process. I think I'll add a bit more red in that. I think I've overdone the blue. We want somewhere in between. Perhaps a little bit more blue. And you can see I've got another beautiful color, and then if we add even a little bit more blue into that. So this is actually not the blue I would use in cobalt blue. I often don't use this, but you know what? I think it's good to experiment and just use anything. Have a little play before you start painting, because you never know what you might find in your color journey. And if we just add a bit more blue to that, we're going to get really close to the blue. And then let's just put the blue on the end. Sorry, I've been a bit sick this week, so I'm a bit congested. And then if we go add the blue to the yellow, and obviously we will get green. I'm going to go a bit more yellow than that so the transition is less. That's a lovely green. And then if we add a bit more blue into that. So as I said, this is a very basic exercise. And this is just the beginning. But we have to start somewhere. Green, and then if we add a bit more blue in. That might be a step too far. Let's pull that back a bit more yellow. Probably wasn't far enough actually. Let's add a bit more blue to that. Beautiful. And then let's add a lot of blue. Almost back to that blue. So you can see there that we've got a bit of a rainbow, and that's just adding the red to the yellow, the red to the blue, and the blue to the yellow. Now, if you add all of those together, you will get various shades of brown and all the colors in between. So let's just start by making an orange again. Oh, you made a mess of that. I'm not really worried because we're going to mix all of these together anyway. So if we add a bit of yellow into that, it's still a bit orange, but let's just see what happens. And then we add some blue to that. Oh, excuse me. Probably add a bit more yellow to that, and you can see, and we're getting a brown color. And I think let's just put our browns in the middle. Why not? And then if we add more blue to that. A bit lazy here. More red. And a bit more yellow. And we're getting a deeper brown. And I mean, there's a million shades in between that. We could go super yellow. We can add a bit more red. Oh, look at all that blue in there. Okay, so that changed it. But again, that's another really different color. Sometimes accidents are good. Oh, excuse me. And let's even, just for the sake of it, if we add even more yellow. Now you can see all these beautiful shades that we're getting out of this, just this color palette of the three colors. If you decided to base a painting on just one of these rows, you could get some really interesting things happening. Let's just add a bit more of this. So I'm going a bit crazy now. And then they'll all relate to each other. Okay, so you can see there we've got some really interesting ideas out of three simple colors, and we haven't even introduced different pigments or black or white or anything. So there you go.